Today on Toledo Cars, we review the 2021 Bronco Sport. Hello and welcome to Toledo Cars. Today, we're not in Toledo. We are in Yellowstone National Park. And we rented a car for this trip. We didn't think it'd be anything special or anything fun or even anything that we would want to review. But when we got into Yellowstone, we were handed the keys to a Bronco Sport. I've been itching to review this car since it came out. I'm really excited for the big Bronco, but the little Bronco doesn't disappoint. During this trip, we stayed in West Yellowstone and ventured into the park for about 4.5 days. It gave me about 20 hours of seat time in the Bronco Sport over approximately 1,000 miles. It was a lot of time in the car, but the Bronco Sport fared really well. Okay, so first impressions after driving this car for about a week through Yellowstone. I've put about 400 or 500 miles on it. It's very comfortable. It's quiet. It's very roomy. There's a lot of space on the inside. There's just two of us on this trip, and it's roomy. We've both been very comfortable the whole time. I'm not repositioning the seats. The seats are very comfortable and supportive. And just lots of good usable room. All our luggage fits really well in the back. You could camp out of this thing very easily. And I think that's really what it's designed for. It's not meant to be a Jeep Wrangler that's a little bit harsher but more capable off-road. It trades some of that off-road capability that the bigger Bronco will have and that the Wrangler has for some on-road comfort and that usable interior space. So unfortunately, we were so enthralled with the scenery and wildlife, we forgot to take any more video of the car. Anyone that's been to Yellowstone is going to understand that. There's so much to see and it's so beautiful out there. But onto the car. The base model Bronco Sport starts at about $27,000. One with every bell and whistle and the highest option packages will run you about $43,000. There's probably a sweet spot somewhere in the middle, but this is a relatively affordable new car. Ours was optioned as the Big Bend edition, so power came from 181 horsepower, 190 pound-feet of torque, turbo, 3-cylinder engine with a displacement of 1.5 liters. That's paired with an 8-speed transmission. The power didn't feel great. I wasn't excited about it. It wasn't fast, but it did get the job done and it allowed the car to get up to highway speeds relatively easily. I suspect that optioning this car with a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder with 250 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque makes this a lot more fun to drive. The car handled surprisingly well. One thing I will say is its on-road manners are superb for what it is. I expected something closer to a Jeep Wrangler, when in reality it felt more like a typical car, maybe a Ford Fusion or a Ford Escape. This was welcome with all the on-road driving we had to do in the park. I was equally impressed with the interior. It's not a luxury interior by any means, but what it is practical and comfortable. There's loads of room, and the seats are very supportive, and the driving position's very comfortable. I spent about 8 hours driving this car in one single day, and I wasn't fatigued or tired or annoyed with the car by the end of it, and that says a lot. Before we get to the negatives though, here's some bison. With all the media hype around the car, I expected it to have a proper four-wheel drive system with a low-range mode. However, having recently reviewed the marketing, that option is only available in the Badlands package. This was disappointing as I expected it to be a little more capable off-road, not just essentially an all-wheel drive car. Someone really looking to go off-road is going to want that for low range for the comfort and capability and control in bigger off-road situations. First gear in at idle speed in this car was just a little too fast to be comfortable in a more significant off-road situation. All in all, I think the Bronco Sport presents a lot of value at its price point. Someone that's looking for primarily a car to get back and forth to work and to go out on the weekends and have a little bit of fun off-road is really going to like the Bronco Sport. However, someone looking for a hardcore off-roader that wants something that they can also drive on the street, they're just not going to be happy with the Bronco Sport. They should wait for the bigger Bronco or look at a Wrangler. This car just doesn't fit that need of the hardcore off-roader. It's a little bit disappointing that it doesn't add in some of those hardcore off-road features at the lower levels, and that you have to spring for the Badlands to get those. That said, the Badlands might be a good compromise, depending on what you want. I think if I was optioning this car myself, I would get the Badlands package, just because for the extra, it seems about 4,000 or 5,000, you can get that 4 low range and some extra good features and a little bit more suspension lift and better tires. I think that's probably worth it. But like I said, I think it's a good value for its price point, and I think people that get this car are going to end up having a lot of fun in it. I know I did in Yellowstone for a week, and it was a really cool experience.
Is it over there on the other side?
Wow.
Everyone's going that way. What is it?
Is it a bear? It's way over there. It might be a bear, babe. Should we get the big ones?
Yeah.
It was a grizzly bear, a big one with 2 cubs that you can't see in the shrubbery. But thanks for watching, everybody. We really appreciate all our subscribers. Thanks for tuning in. I know I've been behind on getting out videos. There's some cool stuff coming with the new Jeep and some follow-up on the BMW. Thanks.